get reaction to all of this. Dave Manny, he's a former Bush 43 special assistant. We've got Ron Christie here, Democratic strategist Emily Shire here. Emily, end with you in this, that the markets, of course, abhor uncertainty. And something that always seemed uncertain was a Donald Trump win in any way, shape, or form. They just factored it out. Now that could be more the case, or perceived to be not impossible. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it was that a Donald Trump win was seen as causing instability in the markets, and part of that was because, frankly, the top economic advisors have largely denounced Donald Trump's plan. The Wall Street Journal surveyed all the surviving White House Council of Economic Advisors, and not a single one, including ones appointed by Republicans, have endorsed Donald Trump or what he's offering. And Donald Trump was just talking about Obamacare. AEI has released a scathing account of what Trump's plan would offer and how it differs from what the House GOP is offering to rectify and offer as a new health care plan. And I think, when those experts weigh in, that's where we get that sense of instability around Donald Trump and if he were elected.
And Dave Manny, one of the things I remember, I said I'm old enough to remember, is ahead of Reagan gaining traction, even August publications like the Wall Street Journal, in favor of cutting taxes, was worried about the degree to which Ronald Reagan wanted to cut them and the deficits that would be produced, and that we would be like a third world country if we weren't careful. So much of the establishment media, too, had concerns about that. Now, of course, they never panned out. But what do you make of that?
Well, I think you'd have the same situation here. I mean, clearly, Donald Trump is a lot more of a wild card, I think, for everybody than Hillary Clinton is. And, it seems to me that one thing to remember is he's not going to be able to just go in and sort of dictate what he wants. He's going to have, if he were to win, he'd have a very skeptical Republican Congress, theoretically, as well as Democrats in full-throated opposition. So the idea that just his plan is something that would push forward is probably not that likely. So which I guess underlines the point of the uncertainty even more. Nobody knows what would happen. Right. And Ron Christie, one of the arguments has always been that markets initially sell off on uncertainty when it looks like, cooler heads prevail, or that it might not be so bad. They stabilize. Now, I have no idea what will happen, but what do you make of that, the fear of a Trump victory, whether it's rational or not, is what's deciding these market movements now?
Actually, I think it's a little bit irrational rather than rational, Neil. Given what we've seen with this administration over the last 8 years...
I just want you to know that you're on record now as saying that our Charlie Brady is irrational.
I would never say that about the smart Charlie Brady, but let me say this. After what we've seen for the last 8 years, 94 million people out of the workforce, the labor workforce participation rate, the worst that it's been in the 70s, how much worse can it get, Neil? If I'm an investor, I'm thinking maybe Donald Trump is going to turn something around. As you know, I'm no great Trump supporter, but I have to believe, given what we've seen for the last 8 years...
Well, they're all coming back to the fold. Are you coming back to the fold?
I'm still away from the flock right now.
Oh, okay. Emily, what about the Hillary Clinton's fold, and whether a lot of her supporters who might be bummed out or feeling that this is the last thing they need, or some of these revelations in WikiLeaks, or the problems with Obamacare, it's taking the enthusiasm out of her supporters, and that is something we haven't factored in for Election Day a week from today.
Oh, absolutely. Hillary Clinton has some major problems on her hand. There is a huge risk that people who would have enthusiastically or even not enthusiastically voted for Hillary Clinton just aren't going to turn out now. And they may not turn out for Donald Trump, but there really is a serious fear that they will not turn out for Hillary Clinton. But in terms of this instability with the market, I think there's a separation in terms of how necessarily the general populace sees her and how the markets might react. I think the problem with Donald Trump is that he fumbles in some really obvious ways that would scare investors that maybe won't.
He hasn't yet. So, Dave, real quickly, can he maintain that? I mean, that's hard, to her point, to stick to that.
Can he stick to...
Not going off the reservation and going crazy.
No, he can't stick to that. I mean, he's got, he's going to have to stay on the rails for 6 more days, and I don't think you could find a 6-day stretch in the campaign when he stayed on the rails, so I wouldn't bet on it between now and then.
I'm thinking he does, but again, I'm often wrong. All right, guys, I'm going to let you know that Charlie Brady is very upset with each and every one of you. And I'm just saying, sometimes he gets this little twitch, and you don't want to be in the same room.